As you know, we have therefore bought a Citroën AMI with damage. We bought it due to the damage, which presents opportunities for customization. That's exactly what we plan to do with the little beast. In addition, we also went to Belgium to pick up all new panels, because we had the idea that we could not repair this anymore. Well, maybe, but you would never get that end result that we want. That it actually just looks as good as new. We are going to try to repair this, and also bring that pigment back in. This thing is trending in Amsterdam now, but setting it up will be a job. It's really cool though. We believe we can still make a small profit, even after repairing this little beast. It still needs inspection though. The car will be registered in the Netherlands. Its main advantage is being fully electric. And that you need a moped license. And that means you can drive this thing from the age of 16. Incredibly cool, customized. We have some really cool ideas in the works, but I can't share too many details just yet. But at least the damages that are on this, like this for example, that the panel is completely torn off, that might have been repairable. But we ourselves couldn't have done that. And that's why we also bought new panels. Well, used panels, with less damage. And that's what we're going to mount on the AMI now. So I'm gonna put the moped car in our workshop. Then we'll just start with disassembly, windows out, door out, panels off. And I think there's absolutely nothing left of this little beast, because it's just a simple frame construction. And in a moment I'll show you even more things about how this thing is put together. Yes, it's built so simply, they really thought about saving money here, so more on that in a moment. As I just mentioned, we went to Belgium to pick up some panels. Because in our opinion they are irreparable. At least maybe if you are really skilled you can fix them, but we can't. So I have to start with the disassembly of the parts. But what I wanted to tell is that the AMI and the Opel Rocks make use actually constantly of the same parts. So the front bumper is the same as the rear bumper. The side panels fit both left and right. Right in terms of door, it is identical left and right to keep the costs as low as possible. I'm curious to see what the frame construction of such a car looks like, and I think we're about to find out. The front bumper, side panels, and door are coming off. And yes, it's going to be a super cool project. I'm really looking forward to it. And I also hope to have it made quickly, get it registered quickly, and sell it quickly. That's what it's all about. So I'm going to put you on a tripod. We're going to start assembling the door. I don't know if we can fix this. A new door lock may need to be installed. I'm putting you on a tripod and we'll start quickly. The main reason we went to Belgium was to pick up the parts for the army. Because the parts were so cheap there. About a third of the price it would cost in the Netherlands. Why did they use two different bolts here? Oh no. Yes, so we have to get a complete roof again with all the windows in it. Side windows front and back, a door, and a complete side for a third of the price it would cost at the dealer in the Netherlands. It's all used, but that doesn't matter to us. I'm curious how easy it is to work on such an AMI. It can't be super difficult, you would say? Disassembling a door is always difficult here. But I find it such a fun project. If I had been 16 and owned this thing, boy, then I would have been mega shiny through Amsterdam. It drives so comfortably. Much more comfortable than all those other electric mopeds. That's really unprecedented. The Opel Rocks, on the other hand, looks a lot like this one. I think they just use different logos. It's nearly loose. For you guys, it's a one-taker, right? Recorded in a single take, and now you can see how she's going to remove a door. Of course, I did put a jack underneath because I couldn't hold the door properly. Piece of cake, guys, piece of cake. I always try to think ahead. How can I make it as easy as possible for myself again? During the assembly, so I put it together from the thing. That's why I'm also putting such a tape now. Then I know for next time that no tape comes up here. So these plastic frames have been installed at the company where I bought the thing so that no moisture gets into the moped car, which is super smart.
It is well secured.
They use something like transparent silicone sealant to attach the window. I ordered a spray can with texture in it, a kind of paint, which I can use to restore the texture in the roof. I'm curious to see if that's going to work. Because this is really so badly damaged. Am I going to do all this, Def? Absolutely not. A knife might work better. Still, I was excited about this project. My little brother hadn't really delved into it at all, but once they're customized, they go for quite a lot of money, I must say. And that makes it interesting for us to customize it. And that's always a nice bonus. I'll pick this up another time. Let's continue with the assembly of the panels. If I'm correct, this is a clicker. Clicker. There's a 10 here. There's also a clicker here. Also fixed with a 10. If correct, these two caps should also be identical to each other. Oh no, of course not, because here runs a line, it comes forward, and there runs a line. There is also a door hinge. Very funny. From the bottom hinge comes a ring with which they have adjusted the door. Such a little shim. So we bought a complete roof, just in case this roof can't be fixed. Suppose we do manage to fix it, then of course those parts that we have sold can also just be sold again in the Netherlands, because the parts are so scarce. In some way it's definitely a nice win-win situation. Alright guys, I think after an hour of scraping kit, doing the most boring job that exists, it's done. All the kit has been removed. Look at that, later on with the sander one more time. If we're gonna sand this, then it's completely smooth. Here too all the kit is off, also swept a bit. Of course we're going to disassemble the wheels, and then we're going to look from the inside out where all the screws are located. Bolts are to unscrew the front and the side. I do expect the panels to be glued. Are on the vehicle, so yes, that's going to be a thing. I'm also not sure yet whether I'm going to spray the panels on the vehicle myself, or if I'm going to take it apart and spray it next to the vehicle, because if everything can come off easily, I also have less masking work to do, you know. I'm a bit in a dilemma, but in the end it will all be fine. We will now disassemble the wheels by removing the hubcaps and wheels to locate the remaining bolts. Let's get started. I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. It looks like something very simple. Take a look. Isn't that funny? A tray like this, a tray like that, and then your panel is attached to it? Really funny. I have already seen 4 bolts 10. Then we are going to take those off. So that's what we're going to do now, 6 bolts further. Our back panel. Just look at how pitiful this looks. Just look, that looks so incredibly pitiful. Just if you hold those panels off, it doesn't look like anything at all. But that's what you get when you have such a product, which is super cheap actually compared to other microcars. These things start at 9,000 euros if I'm not mistaken. And on average, the other electric microcars are just 16,000, 20,000. I understand that you want to save on things.
Like the chassis?
Bumpers, materials, it's all as simple as can be. That's why I think it's such a fun product. I hope to be done soon. We're now going to dismantle the front bumper, and if all goes well, we can then remove the side panel. Although I do see that they are glued on, so that could still become a bit of a struggle.
The front lash is coming off now. I'm really
Impressed with this thing. Just did they gross with this thing or something?
It's real.
Super gross. I've just grabbed the side panels because I'm going to replace these, of course, for the damaged ones. Just to see how it's mounted. And you can see that it's glued on the inside, a blob here, a blob there, a blob there, and also with 2 bolts at the bottom. Seeing how easily it's mounted, I might actually opt to take it all off the vehicles and spray it separately. Because then you can also just spray around the edges properly and you won't have any spray mist on your vehicle. That's the most important thing to me. So I'm going to completely dismantle this side, probably the other side as well, and if all goes well, I'll just have a complete moped in panels lying on the ground that I'm going to spray. All the bolts are loose. I'm curious if I can get it off easily. Oh, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. It's stuck, but that's logical. It has to be. I have an extra tool, a tire spoon,
A screwdriver, a large screwdriver. Hammer.
Of course, this is not the best method to remove your side panel if you can still save the other one, because this one is completely broken, but I am just looking at what the best method is. I think I really need a good knife to cut my glue loose instead of a hammer, a chisel, or a saw. Do this at home.
Not after.
So.
That's off.
Look.
See what a
Boulder boy. Megastone. We've made good progress. I'll put the wheels on so it can stand on them again. And then we're going to take a good look at it outside, and then we're going to wrap up this episode. Just a few final touches and we can walk around it. Let's go. Look at this, guys. An entire Amiens Solange wall. Almost. Because I had said that I would probably take off all the panels of the vehicle to spray. So I'm not going to do that anymore. Because based on how badly those things are stuck, I'm afraid to damage the good panels that are still on the AMI. Because yes, that glue is so adhesive that of course with the sawing and everything I did damage the panel after all. Of course it doesn't matter for this panel. Not for that one either. But for the one who is still on the moped, yes, I'm not going to damage it unnecessarily. It's getting a bit tricky because of course those panels under the window also continue to spray, and imagine if I had wanted to dismantle this, then I probably would have had to take out that window again, yes, and of course we're not going to do that. Look at that, guys, the window is just tinted. That's amusing. You don't usually see that on such objects. As you can see, the AMI is completely stripped and has a slight tint shown here in an outdoor setting. Let's take a walk around it. See what that thing looks like. It looks like a dead razor without covers, just a frame alone. But look at this. You can just see the glue traces here. Of course, the panels will be glued back on once I've sprayed them. But this is such an easy do-it-yourself construction. I understand why they are so cheap. Because yes, in terms of welding, they are really not nicely welded. Look at how it's welded. You can just see that the grinder has been used after welding. Just really a simple point. And there it is, completely stripped. And in the next episode, we're obviously going to get him ready to spray. This part, I'm going to leave this. I'm going to spray on the vehicle. Of course, it's going to be completely sanded down by means of Scotch-Brite. We're going to try to repair this here. We also just see a bite out, so I also have to plaster that. And for the rest, the windows have to go in. This thing is getting very sick. Let me know in the comments what you think. An AMI, fat or not. It's also called the Opel Rocks. Give a thumbs up if you liked the video. Subscribe to our vlog channel for a moment. If it's ready later and you want to buy it, send us a direct message via Instagram, Twins.TV. Who knows, you might become the new owner. With that, I'm wrapping up this episode. See you soon. Ciao.